real estate, radionics, reparenting, rewiring, reality creation. That's a mouthful. And I had someone recently on a podcast ask me, before they interviewed me, they went and like stalked my YouTube and maybe my Facebook, I don't know. And they brought this all up. They said, real estate, radionics, reality creation, what? And I giggled because I've never really worried too much about my brand, but it gave me food for thought that maybe when people are seeing my YouTube channel or listening to my podcast, they might, or in my Facebook group or on my Facebook regular page or whatever, they might be thinking, what does this woman do? So I thought I would take this opportunity to explain how all of those things fit together. Now, first of all, by and far, I largely work with real estate agents. And that's because when we come onto this planet, we have a livelihood. And if it's something that we are pulled into or that we're attracted or drawn to, and we do it for a really long time and become really good at it, I kind of feel like it's our dharma. And in the yoga community, that just means giving back to help others. So I've been in real estate 30 years. I'm a professor of real estate. I've been a mentor. I've been a top producer. I've been a team leader, and I've been a coach. So there's that part of it. Now, the work that I do in general, I coach more and beyond real estate agents, but the lion's share of my clients are real estate agents. And it's because I have this connection with them. But the work I do as far as radionics and repatterning and reparenting and nervous system regulation, all of that could be done to anyone, especially like radionics. I have used radionics on my friend's wine vineyard, on my dogs, on numerous family members, and of course on my clients. So I'm not going to get really deep into radionics. In fact, I'm mentioning I have a section of my new book where I talk about it, and then I give the readers a link where they can learn a little bit more about it. But it's because, you know, the average person isn't, especially the people that are attracted to my work, aren't going to say, oh, let me go spend a couple grand on a machine that has this steep learning curve so I can sit alone for 2 hours a day and meditate and learn how to use it. Not a lot of people are going to do that. But I still use it on them because radionics is too magnificent of a tool to not be shared. So, you know, and it's not as effective when you do single sessions, in my experience. And that's why you don't find a lot of people doing single sessions, because when we're trying to help someone heal, and I'm not a doctor and I don't do medical work, disclaimer, so if you are sick or have a chronic condition, please seek health from or help from a licensed, certified, blah, 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 medical professional. But I can say that I help do energetic and spiritual healing. And we know, because energy informs matter, we know that whatever is wrong in our subtle energy field came first, and then disease or chronic conditions manifested second. And this goes for everything, from accidents to getting fired. And sometimes it's good. So we don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole right now. But radionics allows you to work on the subtle energy field. We just can't work on it for a specific disease because we're not doctors. Okay. So that said, it'd be like saying, I'm a naturopath, which I'm not. But if I were a naturopath, I might give you supplements to take. But you're not going to just see me one time and then go home and say, okay, well, when these supplements are over, hopefully I'm all better. Or a regular allopathic doctor. You're not going to just go in one time and have him diagnose you and go, yeah, it looks like you've got liver disease. See you later. That was $500. See, because subtle energy, just like physical energy, takes time. It takes a hot minute. Now, do things on the energetic realm change a lot faster? Yes. Do I know people who do radionics for like $1,000 or $2,000 and they will work on your energy field for, a couple days? Yes. That's not my wheelhouse, because I am an intention and mindset coach. And so my focus is on helping people manifest intentions. And then whatever gets in the way of that, which is always in the subtle energy field, we clear that. And it's usually self-limiting beliefs. I'm not good enough. And a lot of times it's childhood wounds. It's core beliefs that are negative. And that's where the reparenting and the repatterning and the rewiring of the brain come in. So we do all of this. I would say the number one thing, if someone asked me, which this person did on a podcast, what would you say? I mean, if you had to really niche down, what would you say you do? And I said, mostly I support women over 50 in real estate manifest their intentions through not just the processes that I teach, because there's a lot of them, see my feature video, but through subtle energy, mental energy, emotional energy, and nervous system regulation. That's pretty specific, wouldn't you say? And so when whether I'm using a tuning fork for vibrational healing, or a radionics device for energetic healing, or recommending one of my books for intellectual and mental healing, right? Or we're doing a hypnotherapy session for subconscious reprogramming. Whatever it is, it's always geared towards that end. Does that make sense? So I guess the answer is that everybody is drawn to certain teachers and coaches for certain reasons. And that as much as we say, and this goes for you too, especially if you're a real estate agent, like, no, I don't want to just specialize in, probates or investor properties. I don't want to just specialize in that because I leave people out. What do they call that? FOMO. Like my grandkids, I think all of them didn't want to take their naps because they had fear of missing out. FOMO. But what we know now, especially in business, is that when we narrow our niche really, really down to what we do, and to be able to say it, like I just said, what I do, we can become masters of it. Does that make sense? We can own, I hate the word dominate in real estate. It just has so many connotations to it, but we can own that area and we can go deeper and deeper and deeper into it. Now, when you get to a certain level of depth, can you expand? Certainly. And that's kind of what I have always toyed with, is I get really, really deep into it. And there's nothing I don't know in the real estate space. Nothing. And at one time, I tried really hard. I was working for Keller Williams doing coaching. I tried really hard. And I had all the neuroscience. And I would bring the manifestation into it. But it was just about selling houses. And I could only do it a year. I'm like, I can't. Because there's so much more that I can help agents succeed with that has nothing to do with how many pop buys they do. So we can expand in that way. And even now I can say, well, I'm really great at what I do, but this person over here is dealing with a health condition. And while I'm not a medical doctor and I never profess to do anything medical, I can help her with the energy and the spirituality through my radionics device. And so I may take a client on like that. I had other client the other day, single session, a few $100s, and which is more than fair because, I give a lot and I help a lot. Price is really based on what you receive. You can never say, what do I get for that? Because when you say, what do I get for that? You're expecting someone to give you a solution. And what they're giving you is the opportunity to be a better receiver for what you know is yours and what is coming. Does that make sense? And to be fair, I do pro bono work. And to be fair, I do sliding scale work. So my normal, though, is, it is normally 500. But in this particular case, I think it was 200 because it was a sliding scale. That's right. Anyway, she came to me because, and she has lots of abundance, but she never feels like she does. So what are we doing then with our container? We're going like this. And what was the cause of it? All the things I said: poor conditioning, limiting beliefs, suppressed anger, rage, and hurt that gets stuffed in our bodies and in our energy field. And what does all that equal? A dysregulated nervous system. And what does a dysregulated nervous system do? It causes us to be resistant and reactive. And what are the two things that keep us from receiving? Resistance and reactivity. See how this all fits together? It like dovetails together beautifully, right? Well, this is what happens when you spend 25, 28 years working in this arena and really getting down to the nitty gritty. That is my life's work. That is my legacy. That is why I have written 25 books, to get down to the nitty gritty of it. And so far, I can't say for all certainty that's it, because science may discover something else next week, or someone may come up with a brilliant healing modality that no one has ever thought of before. And there's lots of people every year, someone comes up with something, and I try them all. I try them all, and I won't list them out here because I would never want to speak disparagingly about anyone else. But, you know, the things that I have found that work, and I've spent tens of thousands of dollars, and radionics and hypnotherapy and EFT and energy work, you know, like tuning forks and flower essence and essential oils. These are all things, and those are inexpensive things that can really help shift your vibrational frequency. Meditating to binaural beats can really help synchronize your left and right hemisphere. Understanding that your body is structured water and how to restructure that water, because literally 80% of your emotional problems are probably because you're dysregulated, and as being dysregulated, you're destructuring your body water. And your body water, your body water is 99.9% of your molecules. And you have like 52 trillion molecules. So people say, oh, we're 70% water. No, we're not. We are mostly water. The planet is mostly water. Water is reactive, it's responsive, it's reflective, and it certainly could be a level of consciousness. We don't know. And I know someday science is going to figure that out, and I hope I'm around to see it. Okay, so anyway, I know I go off on tangents, and I apologize for that, but hopefully it makes sense how all of the stuff fits into this channel, because at the end of the day, well, you'll see me sometimes come on and pop on and talk about marketing or customer client relationships, but it's not my passion. And in magnetic marketing, which coaching those women is my passion, whether they're in my group or my individuals, we have a huge online library, and I have all sorts of modules on marketing, and whether it's basic open houses or doing videos. We have video training. I really try to get people to do videos because that is one of the best way to break through your own level of fear. So it's not just doing a video to get more clients. It's taking a step outside of your comfort zone so that you can open up to receive more clients. Big difference. But that's not everyone's cup of tea. So we have the online module, and of course, being in the real estate industry for 30 years, I can give you all sorts of support in that. But what I'm really interested in is why you're reaching out for coaching in the first place, or watching these videos on YouTube, or reading the self-help books. And it's because you want more. And it's not that your ego wants more. You think your ego wants more money, but your spirit, your super conscious says, what are we doing here? What else? What else you got for me? This is it? This isn't bad. I'm not complaining. Don't take it. But what else? There's got to be something bigger and better and deeper, right? And this is also why I tend to specialize in women over 50, because that's when we get to this age, 40, 50, 60, we get to this point. We're like, what now? Right? We're not counting pennies to go to Taco Bell, hopefully. Hopefully we're not eating at Taco Bell. Nothing personal, Taco Bell, don't sue me. But the point being that we all think we want money in our 20s, 30s, 40s, and we need money. But the reason that so many people are drawn to how to get rich and how to build abundance mindset, and even my workshop, 4 Waves of Wealth, is because we think that money is the resource that will lead us to the nirvana, the heaven, the joy. And I'm here to tell you, it's great to have money. I don't want it taken from me. But when you have money and you realize there has to be something else, when you get to that level of spiritual development, of maturity, of wisdom, you realize that what you really want to do is to give back. But I'm not just talking about giving money. I'm talking about giving back what your gift is, because that's going to fulfill you and it's going to be of service, right? It's going to fulfill you and it's going to be of service, and you don't have to wait. If you are a real estate agent or if you are a financial planner and you're like, Tamara, I can barely pay my mortgage. I live in California. I know I do too. I can barely pay my mortgage. I can't be giving money to the SPCA, but I love it if I had a bunch of money and I could. You don't have to, but could you go volunteer there once a month? Could you post a bunch of pictures about helping rescue animals? You see, you can do what you love and be of service while not necessarily giving funds, right? And for a lot of people, it's maybe becoming a coach or going back to school or opening a business or selling a product, right? So there's all sorts of things that you can do that will give you spiritual, emotional fulfillment, but also be of service to others. Okay, so we went all over the place in this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. And check out the links below, subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye for now.